Now let's go in and take a downward sloping demand curve and learn how to calculate elasticity of demand from that demand curve. So if we go in, and of course on our horizontal axis we have our quantity, and then our price on the vertical axis, and then here is our downward sloping demand curve as such. Alright, let's go ahead and call this point point O. And point O will be represented by a price of $80, and we have a corresponding quantity of 8 units. Then at point N, and let's just say that happens to be this point right here, that will be represented by a price of $70 and a corresponding quantity of 10 units. Alright, so what we're going to do is, we already know that our formulation for an elasticity of demand is going to be the percentage change in the quantity that's being demanded divided by the percentage change in price. Percentage change in the price of the item. There we go. Alright, so our formula then is going to be our quantity at time period 1 minus our quantity at time period 0 divided by Q1 plus Q naught, and then all of that is going to be divided by 2. And again, I want you to notice the entire denominator is going to be in parentheses. You'll see why here in just a moment. Then, to calculate the percentage change in price, we are going to take our price at time period 1 minus our price at time period 0 divided by P1 plus P naught divided by 2. And again, the entire denominator is going to be in parentheses. So what I'm going to do is, going back to the graph we have above, I'm going to assume that our point 0 or point O is going to be our initial price and quantity. So I'm going to mark this as P naught. That's going to be our 80 units. And the corresponding quantity is going to be 8 units. And then let's say our price decreases down to 70. So there's our P1. And our corresponding quantity is going to be Q1. So there are the 4 variables that we need to go in and plug into our equation. Alright, so simply go ahead and substitute. So we have Q1, which we know is going to be 10 units, minus Q naught, which is going to be 8 units, divided by Q1, which is 10, plus Q naught, which is 8, and then those are going to be divided by 2. And again, go ahead and leave that in parentheses. Alright, now if we go in and substitute our percentage change in price, then we are going to look at our price at time period 1, which is going to be $70, minus our price at time period 0, which is going to be $80, divided by P1, which is 70, plus P naught, which is 80, and then that is going to be divided by 2. Okay, so there's your numbers substituted into your formula. The first thing you want to do then is go to your numerator, and the very top of the numerator, and take your 10 minus 8, which is going to give us 2. So I'm going to go ahead down to the next line, so that will give us 2, divided by, and then down here we have 10 plus 8, which is going to give us 18, and then 18 divided by 2 is going to give us 9. Alright, so we're going to do all of that in one step. Alright, going down to the price part, we're going to do 70 minus 80, which is going to give us a negative 10. And then we have 70 plus 80 divided by 2, which is going to give us 75. Alright, now we have to go in and we have to take our 2 divided by 9. Now when you go into your calculator, you're going to get a big repeating decimal that comes out of this. At this stage, you want to go ahead and round it to the 4th decimal. So go ahead, plug that into your calculator, and then round it to .2222. If you plug in negative 10 divided by 0.75, you're again going to get a very large decimal that comes out of that. But go ahead and again round it to the fourth decimal point. So that will be a negative 0.1333. And then, to finish it off, when you go in and take your 0.2222 divided by negative 0.1333, you're going to get a negative 1.67. Again, at this point it will be a big repeating decimal. Go ahead and round it to the second digit at this point. Now, for an elasticity calculation, the very last thing you want to do is to go in and take the absolute value of the number. And again, the absolute value will change any number to a positive. So the absolute value of a negative 1.67 is a positive 1.67.